Welcome back. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television. On the program today, we're looking at lockdown Lagos, talking about the Apapa petrol and traffic story. I'm being joined now by the president of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, Dr. Eugene Weke. He's also the vice chairman, Customs Consultative Committee. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning. And you made it eventually, despite the traffic, the fuel situation and the rest of it. But tell us, Apapa is, the most visited.
The heart of Lagos, the heart of the nation.
In fact, I'm trying to look for the word, because a lot of activities actually go on around Apapa. The freight forwarders are there. We have the shippers. We have, offices. We have residents. We have people who come from outside, coming to work. People like yourself coming in from Badagry, all the way to Apapa. What's it been like for you?
Well, just yesterday we were in a meeting of the Nigerian Port Consultative Council. A study committee was set up to actually, propose a roundtable for the incoming administration. So one of the committee which I participated, we need to take on the spot assessment to find out what are the fundamental causes for the present sudden gridlock in Apapa. And we found out that, yes, we are managing the Apapa congestion over now, because, when we talk about congestion, we're looking at congestion from three aspects. That aspect has to do with the anchorage space when a vessel comes and it's taking more time to come to the anchorage, the berthing space. Once more vehicles are staying there, that's post congestion. Second aspect has to do with when the terminal storage space in the terminal are filled up and goods are not going out. That's another type of congestion. The congestion we're having now is what we call port access road congestion, whereby goods that have that are led into the port cannot go out. Now that can it go? Those ones that want to come into the port, they cannot gain access. Now, what is the problem? Yes, there has been a fundamental issue. That is the clustering of tank firms within the port access road over time, which the past administration has made frantic effort to address, but they're unable to address the issue, because at no point has any serious attempt has been made to relocate some of these tank firms. Two, the port access road management is handled by Federal Ministry of Works. The pace of that very work is, in fact, it's a snail pace.
But then I remember that some time ago, the Lagos state government actually told these tankers, did a tank farm for them and asked these tankers to move. So at one point, there weren't really tankers, so many tankers on that road anymore. Even the Navy, joined in, along with the Ministry of Works, like you just pointed out, to ensure that those tanks were gotten off the road.
It will work because you are trying to call people to do things, not because there are no provision. If you ask people, force people to do things, it's just temporal. What the Lagos state government did was to use the combination of forces, call it Navy, LASMA, police, all the forces, to clear the way for some time. But the fundamental issues are still there, and they will still be up the ugly head. So what has happened over time is a situation, you see, there are no call-off park for the truck, for instance, the container trucks. Tankers have no call-off park. So everybody just come to taxi around the access road. They're occupying the road. But if government are putting up the necessary port infrastructure, which involves having a call-off point for trucks, which we call marshalling yard, then the issue will be addressed. So whatever solution we're trying to do by cowing people, causing people to do these things, whether they say they want to get this thing because it's money, they're threat. They want to, it's threat, it's business to them.
Yes, but then still looking at how it's business for everybody. Everybody seems to be losing out on this. Importers, the freight forwarders.
The structure, just got the all facet of stakeholder within the international maritime supply chain.
Everybody is losing money.
Is losing money.
Not to even mention the motorists who are on the road who are trying to just get through that area, or the people who are going to school. But how much? Let's put a figure to it. Some say about 5 billion naira on a daily basis.
Yeah, I will go with that figure because in custom, 45% of the revenue dropped because over time, the daily target is 1 billion naira per daily. And if at the end of the day, 45% of that amount have dropped, you know what it means.
Which means that those people who actually have containers at the ports are probably not still paying, you know, for, since I can't get my goods out anyway, I might as well not pay the
point is
agents or
that
anybody.
a custom officer hadn't get access to go to work. By the time he gets to his office, it's about 2 o'clock. What will he do? He start preparing to go back. Most freight forwarders try to use their ICT to do this job. At the end of the day, it's not getting anywhere. The turnaround time for truckers, they are just tied one place. They are not making any movement. So it's affecting their own revenue. The revenue or income for the freight forwarder is affected. Then bankers that are out over the places, they don't have much business because even the workers don't get to office on time. Now you now look at it from the point, shipping company are losing much money. And much as shipping companies are losing much money, Nigerian Port Authority will as well lose money. That is the truth. The master is also affected. The terminal operators or the concessionaires are also losing money. Their revenue target of 250 million per day is going down. And every other day they're receiving cargo, the terminal and storage spaces have been...
So that's about 250 billion naira lost in 5 days.
250 million naira, that's for the terminal operators, but for the shipping line, that is in dollars. So you can put that at over $1 billion.
But this is a situation, you already mentioned it, but this is a situation that, you know, has constantly been on the front burner. Yeah. Could this particular one that we have at the moment been avoided?
Yeah, that is why we undertook an investigation to find out what are the root causes for this. It's not as if we are used to Apapa gridlock issues, but just while sometime 2 weeks ago, you found out the Minister for Finance talked about the issue of subsidy waiver and what have you, and the marketers rose. But from our finding, I think it's the fear of the incoming administration. Some of them believe that probably when this subsidy goes, from our investigation findings, that the incoming administration may not really sustain this aspect of subsidy and what have you.
But then we get reports that we get reports that some ships have actually berthed and they're actually offloading petrol. Yeah. Petroleum products, maybe petrol, kerosene, diesel.
It also interests you that even while we make some of these things overnight, you see some of these tankers are loaded and you see them by Badagry route and the Idoroko route. What are they going there to do? Is that the destination where they're supposed to go? If most of them are seen going through Ibadan to northern Heatherland within the country, it's understandable. The report says that everybody, these marketers want to maximize profit, and you can see the octane. Some of the truck you see coming in are from the north, and they came down to block the whole space. Just what I'm saying now. Why? Because we have a group of associations that call themselves under NUPENG, who are truck owners, and most of these tankers are owned by ex-military personnel, so that they feel they're above the law, sort of.
Well, still looking at the issue of where we are with regards getting these products out. Yeah. Can it be done in such a way, using your association, all the associations that are actually concerned with this issue, using these associations to ensure that at least the gridlock we're seeing coming out of the ports is managed? Because more and more, it's not looking that way. It's not looking like anybody's trying to manage the situation. Everybody is angry. Everybody wants to get out. Everybody wants to get their products out. And so they're not trying to be rational about it.
You know the truth? Apapa paucity calls for a state of emergency. That is the truth. There's no association, there's no government agency as it stands that can address this issue. If it were, the Navy over time, you mentioned the arrangement of Lagos State, and so where are they? For the past 1 week going, where are they? The issue is that somebody must sit down and take that, give a leadership. Nigeria Port Authority, you can see that there's a change of guard, and they're still trying to, the new MD trying to settle down. The master doesn't have what it takes to address the issue over there. Shippers Council cannot do that sort of directive, because the people you find out that are there are working under different department and ministry.
So you feel a state of emergency?
State of emergency, needs to be in fact, because it's affecting the economy.
For Apapa.
That is the state of emergency. But the present administration is prepared to hand over. So it's like there's not much attention given to that.
But then we have an incoming administration. Yeah, General Muhammadu Buhari, in the next couple of days, will be sworn in. Do you think the administration will be able to tackle this issue?
Before then, the economy will run aground. Because I'm telling you, whether we like it or not, the relevance of port its importance to every other business of Nigerians. I mean, it's too much.
But
It
surely,
touches so many aspects of life.
Surely there must be something that can be done. I mean, because it's really, really gotten out of hand. You said it already, and you know, for want of repeating myself, making you repeat yourself or repeat myself. Sorry, let me just get this out, sir. For want of making you repeat yourself, it's a situation that was being managed. Before now, yes, we've always had congestion on that Apapa, road, but it was managed effectively. Now it's not seeming that way, and everybody has just, like, I will still point out again, and I think I really want you to, talk about it. Everybody just seems to have sat down and folded their hands. Because
the solution is what we're trying to, think about.
You're trying to think about the solution.
Council call for a meeting. We're in a meeting. We're trying to address some of these issues because there are some other factors. It's a combination of factors. Even within the terminal operators, they too have issues. There are system breakdown here and there. That was also affected the people who call the truckers, those that lift container and goods that are coming to the country, apart from the tanker. So those issues are also there.
But has this actually affected the amount of tankers that you see around Apapa, the ones that come in, load and offload at the Lagos port, or it has increased?
It has increased. The number of tankers we used to know has gone beyond what we know before.
Well, it's amazing, especially because you can't get products out anyway.
Yeah,
so
the products are not
coming in?
The products, the importers, marketers, we are not bringing enough. So the little that they bring in is like scrambling and partitioning. Everybody wants to get it by hook or crook. Knowing fully well that at the end of the day, there's a deliberate arrangement whereby the price will not be sold at pump price other than going up. And for them to do that is to get this well, get outside Lagos and sell it at any other price. So it's a business. It's a kabaton.
So what if we get into a situation where the amount of trucks, tankers, whichever way you call it, apart from the ones that are coming in to load petrol, you have the ones who are coming in to pick up containers or drop containers and the rest of it. How about we reduce the amount of trucks that are on the road? Freight Forwarders Association should actually begin to look at other ways of getting this, of addressing this situation because of the tight spot that we're in at the moment.
We can only imbibe on what we call a dialogue. The situation on ground does not require dialogue. I'm pacifying anybody. The situation on ground required force. Force must be applied to get this truck from the last truck to start reversing back. And that's called for state of emergency. Within 24 or 48 hours, we'll get this truck going back to whatever. But the thing is still that they will ask you, where do you want us to park? Call off park.
Dr. Eugene, we're going to have this conversation again, hopefully in the very near future. And maybe they do call the state of emergency, maybe they don't, but we're hoping to talk about this again.
We continue to look at it, but I want to believe that as a Nigerian, we won't just fold our hands until the whole economy is clamped down. Then before we start talking. Mr. President should direct the presidential committee headed by Investor Money. They have not been scrapped. I think they see how what it takes because they were the one that in those days working with Lagos State to see how to evacuate and decongest those port access roads. That committee should go back to work. I think Mr. President, before he leaves office, should give this as a service to the nation. We can't continue this way.
Dr. Meke, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the program this morning. Business Morning continues in just a moment. We're still talking about the lockdown, the Apapa petrol traffic gridlock. Join us again.